The problem is not in you. The problem is not you're lazy. The problem is in your brain. Yes, you have here right. The problem is your brain is addicted to everything. Your brain wants something which are easier, which are addictive. Means sugar, junk food, social media, everything is addictive, and your brain craves for it because your dopamine spikes when you get those dopamines, when you get that cheap dopamine. But do you know it is the reason you feel like you are lazy? But you are not actually lazy. And do you know how you can control your brain? Your brain, you think your brain is in your control, but it's not in your control. You feel like you are controlling your life, but you are not controlling your life. And if you think you have control over your life, then why you are not still successful yet? Why you are still hating your life? Why you want to wake up early but you can't? Why you want to get fit? You want to build body but you can't? Why you want to make money but you can't? Because you are not in your control. Your life is in not in your hands. Your brain is also in not in your hands. And do you know how you will control it? There are some steps which I will tell you later. But first you need to understand why it happens. Our brain rewired in such a way it get addicted to the things which seems easier, which seems and which give our brains much dopamine. Like when you work out, you don't get that much dopamine as scrolling to Insta. When you eat healthy foods like vegetables and high protein foods, it won't taste good as much as junk food which you eat. That is the difference. But first, you need to take down that dopamine baseline. If you are eating junk food every day, your baseline goes up here. And if your baseline is up here, then when you eat at this baseline, something like vegetables, you won't feel that much dopamine in your brain. That's why you feel like you shouldn't eat next time. But imagine if you're not eating that junk food, which goes to your baseline like this, and you suddenly eat vegetables. Your baseline is will be won't affect that much. You'll feel like it's the highest dopamine you are getting, and that can happen. You just need to take down your dopamine high, dopamine baseline. And do you know how it will happen? By avoiding and removing that distraction from your life. When you try to add up things, you can't make it habit. You will quit. When you try to go out gym, you will quit it. Do you know why? Because your baseline is up here, bro. You need to take down that shit. And when you take down that thing, after that you can conquer the thing, and which the things you want to do, you will do it. First step is remove that distractions from your life. And I can't tell you why and how, but you have to do it yourself. If you scroll Insta, you have to delete it, or other things like you can use grayscale mode, you can make timers. There are a lot of options to avoid those things. It's up to you, but you have to remove those distractions. It can be anything. It can be eating, it can be scrolling, anything. But first thing is remove those distractions. Second thing is meditation. Do you know why meditation is the biggest sword you have, the biggest weapon to conquer your brain? Do you know why? Imagine our ancestors. Our ancestor doesn't have that much desires. The monks you see, the documentaries or anything, have you ever seen those monks who live in the jungles and forests? They are human beings. Have you ever get some news like they are getting money, they want money and other stuff? They won't, because they are they have control over their desires. That is the first thing we need in our life: control over mind. And do you know how they control their mind? They control their desires by meditation. They meditate every single day for hours. That is the thing which differentiate themselves from us. They train themselves for calming their mind. That's the reason they can't get affected to this junk food, this social media addictions, because their dopamine is simple. Their dopamine baseline is so low that even if they go out in the forest and see a tree, they feel like it is the beautiful day for them because their baseline is so low. They have trained themselves for it. You can too by meditating, and you don't have to live in the forest like that. You just need to train and meditate from your home, and you will build monk like focus in just couple of days. You just need to train, and focus is not something which we get from our birth. It is something which is like a skill. Like as you are speaking, as you are walking, everything is a skill. It is focus is also a skill. You can train to. Don't think I can't focus. So what is the point? That is the point. It is like a person who wants to become a content creator and he is telling I can't speak. Bro, that's why we practice. Just talk and you will build after some time later. You just need to practice. That is how you will build focus. Third thing is training hard. Training is also some kind of training is not for your body. It is also for your mind. When you go out, even if you don't want to, it is a training for your mind to say yes. And it is taking control over your mind. Even if you don't want to go out and train your body, you still do it. That is the discipline you're building. And those small, you will think it doesn't affect, but those small things will affect your life. Those small discipline will give you much more reward in long term, and those small discipline will increase after time, like compound, and will give you much more higher returns on it. When you train your body, you're not just training your body, you're training your mind to do things which you don't like to do. It is like eating healthy food which doesn't taste as much as good as junk food, but you still taste, you still eat because you want to complete your daily nutritional requirements. That is how you will improve your life. That is how you will take back control over your life. That is how you will become from lazy to confident, from taking action person. And when you take action, you are halfway through your goal. If you are just going out, you are building body. If you are just eating healthy, you are building body. Even if you are not seeing results, you are halfway through it. You just need to maintain that thing. And do you know what is training? The best training is calisthenics. That is also best for training your mind. It doesn't just train our body, it trains our mind too. That is why I love calisthenics. Calisthenics means doing 100 push-ups and 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, pull-ups. It doesn't require any equipment. You just do it with your body. Because in the gym, it's so much easy to put weights and do those sets. But doing push-ups for not just body, for training our mind is harder. That's it for now. If you want to talk to me on a one-on-one call, check out the pin comment. Take care, bro.